Hey friends, welcome back. Today in the Godspeed Garage, science. Actually, probably the opposite. You'll see. So every year here in Sisters, Oregon, we do a car show on the 4th of July out at the airport. It's one of my favorite shows of the year. It's cars, planes, they have flight simulators, they do like a 5K run if you're into that sort of thing. And they do drag racing down the airstrip at the end of it. And I haven't gotten to drag race any of my cars so far, but I think this year is the year. Actually, I kind of challenged a guy in my car club to a drag race, so I sort of have to do it now. Now, one of the things that I've always wanted to do to see if it actually helps for drag racing are exhaust cutouts. And I'm going to attempt to make my own for my 58 Chevy pickup. Now, I got these glass packs for free from another guy in the club, and they are, I believe, 2 1/4 inch glass packs. My truck right now, the exhaust is all hodgepodge together. I'm planning on running 3-inch exhaust the whole way out eventually, but for now, I'm just going to use these glass packs that I got for free. So I got a bunch of stuff from our good friends over at Summit Racing. Since I'm going to 3-inch exhaust anyways, I figured I'd make my cutouts out of 3-inch. Now this is just some 3-inch aluminized pipe. I got all the nuts and bolts, and I got these flanges, and I'm actually going to make my own cover to bolt on for the cutouts. And I also discovered these copper gaskets that are supposed to seal a lot better if you have just the flange type exhaust header deals. These supposedly seal a lot better than the carbon fiber or carbon whatever it is. So I'm going to attempt to make it work. Now I got this app on my phone that is basically tells you how long it takes you to go from 0 to whatever. I'm just going to do 0 to 60. And what I'm going to do is 3 different runs with my pieced together exhaust that I have right now, and just the stock exhaust, and get the average of those 3 runs. And then I'm going to install the glass packs and do 3 more runs and get that average, just to see how much, if anything, quicker I'll get to 60 with the glass packs instead of the mufflers. And then I'm going to do the cutouts, and I'll do 3 pulls then with the cutouts to see if the cutouts actually do anything. So my truck right now, the engine isn't anything special. I did rebuild it, but it's got basically just a stock crank, stock pistons, stock heads. I am running 3-inch headers on it, and I have a performance manifold and the 4-barrel carburetor. It's not jetted or anything. It's just a stock 500 CFM carburetor from Edelbrock. So my truck isn't super quick already, but I mean, every little bit helps. The guy that I'm racing, my buddy Aaron, he has a 60-something Chevy pickup, and he pretty much, I think, has the same motor setup that I do. His might be a little bit better, but he has a 4-speed transmission, so that's where I think I'll get him, because mine's automatic, so I don't have to shift, but it's going to be interesting to see. Okay, so I found a 2-lane highway that's relatively flat, as you can see, and to try to be as scientific as possible, I filled up my gas tank. Not sure if you'll be able to see. Yeah, see, all the way full. And I'm going to fill it up each time before the set of 3 runs. And I got the motor up to operating temperature and straight as we can, and we'll let it rip.
Let's get away from it all. Need to breathe fresh air, break some freedom. When I was been so long, tied to time. Look outside of me, roll away from security. Leave behind the world, know too well where to trap me. Drive right into serenity. Will it be too long before I'm gone? Before I miss everything I know. Open road, open mind, broken heart, open time will catch up with me. Leaving the smell of gasoline, it feels so serene, and I know it's been so long since I took time. Look at life through its own thing, yeah, yeah. Need time to think, space to be someone to meet me where I am. Running away, just taking a break from everyone. Tell me what to do, who to be, 'cause that's not me.
Okay, now this will be the 3 runs with the glass pack. As you can see here, it's a full tank of gas, and we're up to operating temp, and we're gonna hit the same stretch of road 3 times and get an average. This is the open cutout test. There you can see we're up to temperature, and you can see we got a full tank of gas. Everything should be pretty close to exactly the same, except I took the covers off the cutouts. And same stretch of road, and we should be good to go to let her rip. Okay, so here's the deal. I know that my truck is nothing special. 9 seconds, 0 to 60 is not that great, but remember my truck's sitting on the chassis from a 75, so for a pretty much stock Chevy C10, you know, a couple upgrades here or there to the motor, 9 seconds isn't that bad. Each one of these methods, as you saw, there was a little bit of a gain each time over the stock exhaust. Now granted, those mufflers were completely trashed. When I took them off and I shook them around, there was all kinds of stuff floating around on the inside. They were probably pretty well clogged. But you can see, even though the gains were minimal, I picked up nearly a second from the stock mufflers to the cutouts. So do they work? Yeah, sure. Every little bit helps. Will you see a more dramatic change on a better motor or a better vehicle? Probably. But for my application here and what I was planning on doing with my little shop truck, those cutouts seem to work pretty good. So you take it as you will. And like I said, it's not super scientific because who knows, temperature change, time of day. There's all sorts of variables that could have affected those numbers as well. But overall, I try to keep it as much the same as possible with having a full tank of gas, engine operating temperature, so you have your power to weight ratio and all of that sort of stuff. I didn't mess with any timing or anything, so when I ran the open cutouts, it was the same exact carburetor setup and timing as all the other runs. Now, how did that translate into the actual drag race? Well, see for yourself. I raced 4 times that day, twice against my buddy Aaron, once against another guy in the car club, and then once against a guy who drove a Buick with a big block in it who saw me racing and challenged me, and I beat him too. So I was convinced my truck was going to be the slowest one there. I was pleasantly surprised that, first of all, my motor didn't blow up, my truck didn't fall apart, but that I actually won all 4 of the races.
I'm getting this one. Oh, you guys. Oh, you guys. This is so sweet.
We're racing Eric.
Oh. Yeah, who do I cheer for then?
Us.
Okay.
He won last time.
Oh, yeah. Racing Eric. I see you taking on the Yankee Mobile.
Yep.
All right. Who do we cheer for?
Whoever you want. It'll be close.
I've never seen the stars shine so bright. I've never seen the clouds so white but mine.